Hey everyone, Dave here. It is December 28th, 2024. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, your loved ones, and your families. And I wish you nothing but the best for 2025. And I want to make a quick video here today about Chat GPT's Bitcoin price prediction by the end of next year. So, you're going to see a lot of videos online, and you probably have over the last several months on people making these price predictions. Okay. You see several YouTubers or these media personalities saying it could go between 200 to 500K, right? There were several that said Bitcoin would be 150K by the end of 2024. That is most likely not going to happen. We are currently at $94,000 per Bitcoin, all right? And that is a little off from 125 to 150. So I just want to give you a disclaimer here. People who make these price predictions, all right, even myself, you know, they're somewhat shots in the dark, all right? It doesn't matter what kind of trading charts they provide or the support and this and that. At the end of the day, we don't know what the exact price is going to be, but what we do know is that the price is likely going to go up within the next 12 to 13-month time frame. All right, we can be somewhat confident about that, but just be mindful that these YouTubers and other people that are putting out these price prediction videos, it's great to have numbers to look forward to and to base your investment off of, but you always just need to have the mindset that it's not necessarily going to be true. Anyways, uh, I asked ChatGPT. I was very candid. I said, scour the news online and use your own analysis. What's your Bitcoin price prediction for the end of 2025? So it went ahead and gave me this chart. And I want to highlight one thing quickly. Trump got elected at the beginning of November. We were about just under 70K per Bitcoin, $69,000. A month later, after he got elected, look at that. You're It went up 30K. All right. It started flirting with 100K per Bitcoin, and we eventually got past that point. But the Trump pump was a real thing because his administration and himself included are very friendly towards crypto and talking about having a potential strategic reserve in the coming years. And I think when he gets elected, when he swears in, at the beginning of next year, we're going to have another pump because he's finally in office. It happened. Hopefully, nothing happens to him from now until then. And people are going to have confidence in crypto and Bitcoin in general, and that's going to increase the price. So, just something to be mindful of because that did happen about 2 months ago. All right. It went up 30K just because of that. So, I'm not going to read all this. You can read it here on the screen, but it's saying here Bitcoin will likely be between 150 to 200K by the end of 2025. Some people say it could go as high as 500,000. Now, I think that's incredibly optimistic. But do I oppose that or would I bitch and moan about it? Absolutely not. All right. I'd be the happiest guy on earth if that happened. All right. Um, Key factors influencing these predictions: you have the halving. All right, that's continued, and that happened just this past spring. So it believes we're going to see some price increases because of that. Institutional investment and ETF inflows. Regulatory environment, that's all related to Trump and what I just went over, his admin being crypto friendly. All right. And then Federal Reserve policies. What up, Jerome Powell? These potential interest rate cuts, we already know that's going from 4 to 2. And ChatGPT believes that could influence its price trajectory. I think number 4 probably has the least amount of influence compared to 1, 2, and 3. I think 3 is incredibly big. And I also think 2, the ETF inflows will continue to be or continue to have a positive effect on Bitcoin for the next 12 to 13 months. Analyst predictions. Bitwise says it could go past 200K. Standard Charter has a similar outlook. Yippee-ki-yay. Van Eck has it around 180 by the end of the year, 180K. And then Market Vector Index says um, about $150,000 by the end of next year. I think that's incredibly modest, honestly. Like if it was at 150 by the end of the next year, would I be, crying myself to sleep? Crying myself to sleep? No, but would I be like, hey, all the amperage and hype, the halving, the bull market, all this stuff that we had ideas of at the end of 2024, did we miss the mark? If it's at 150K by the end of next year, yeah, I would say so. I would say 150 is pretty modest. So I went ahead and I took it a step further. I wanted it to pick a number, and I said, what would you pick? And the estimate it gave is 175K per Bitcoin at the end of 2025. So I want to transition from that now, and I want to go over to this screen instead. And I have some tabs up. I just uploaded a video um, going over some price predictions here, but I think for me personally, guys, all right, I think by the end of 2025, we're at least at 175K minimum. All right, I think that's minimum. We're there. 200 to $300,000 per Bitcoin is reasonable. If I had to make a prediction on where it's going to be 12 to 13 months, I would say between 200 and 300K. You would get between 100 and 200% return on your investment if you buy Bitcoin right now and you hold it for the next year. All right. That's just my personal opinion based off what I've seen, based off the halving event, the 4-year cycle that Bitcoin goes through. I think 200 and 300K is reasonable. All right. 350,000 plus, I think that's us hitting a home run. All right. And if we even flirt with $500,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2025, I would probably shit my pants. I'd be like, holy shit, this happened. All right. And I got to hold Bitcoin and live through this over the past year. I think it would be incredible. I think it's very optimistic. But would I be opposed to it? I would be an idiot to be opposed to that. Okay. So I'd be all for it. And last little point here, it's going to happen. All right. We're going to have to endure a 40, 50, 60% dip likely in 2026. It's probably going to tank a little bit. All right. I could see it going up to 200, 250K, and then people just selling out of it, institutions selling out of it. Maybe there's some kind of negative news on crypto and it drops down to like 100. All right. I could definitely see that happening, but that's all part of the game. That's all part of being invested into this and having the gumption to hold through all these points. I just invested into Bitcoin. I started this past March, and it did absolutely nothing for me, almost nothing for me until Trump got elected, and it pumped up. I got in at 54K, and it went all the way up to 100. So that's the video, guys. You're going to see a lot of price predictions. A lot of them are shots in the dark. I think 200 to 300K is reasonable by the end of the year. Definitely reasonable and definitely doable, especially with Trump and his administration entering office and him becoming president. So that's my video, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and Happy New Year. And let's get ready for the next 12 to 13 months.